Hello, everyone. So for our group project, we focused on a case study involving pursuing silvopasture and carbon sequestration at Wheelview Farm, which is a farm located in Shelburne, Massachusetts. And the problem that we're tackling here is currently conventionally raised cattle in the United States, which is characterized by feedlots, grain feed, and poor manure management, emit large amounts of greenhouse gases such as methane, nitrous oxide, and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. These cattle are responsible for about 243 million metric tons of CO2 equivalent annually, or 3.3% of total US greenhouse gas emissions. The conventional beef agriculture industry is also associated with land degradation and water pollution. Yet there are more climate-friendly alternatives, such as putting cows on grass in managed grazing systems, which not only increases carbon sequestration, but also less fertilizers and grain are required. Land and air quality are also improved. And through this managed grazing system, a carbon gain of about 0.5 to 3 metric tons of carbon per acre is also offered. So as far as silvopasture goes, it's an agricultural practice of integrating trees or shrubs with grasslands and grazing animals such as cattle, sheep, pigs, and goats. It offers the opportunity to sequester even more carbon than managed grazing alone. And these pastures, which include trees, can also sequester actually 5 to 10 times as much carbon as those of the same size, which are treeless. And worldwide, if farmers were to increase silvopasture acreage from approximately 351 million acres today to 554 million by the year 2050, carbon dioxide emissions could be reduced by 31.2 gigatons.
In addition, silvopasture has other benefits as well, including shade for animals, reducing heat stress and water requirements, improved nutrition, improved animal health, higher animal weights due to increased shade and better nutrition. With higher meat yields, the farmer benefits from increased profits. Additional crop opportunities such as nuts, improved water quality and water holding capacity, improved soil health and climate resiliency for grasslands, and improved ecosystem health with increased habitat for birds, bees, and small mammals. To better understand how silvopasture works, we first need to understand the science behind carbon sequestration. Plants remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during the process of photosynthesis. They transform a gas, carbon dioxide, into glucose, which contains carbon. Plants will store the carbon long-term and deliver carbon to the soil, a large carbon sink. If left undisturbed, carbon can remain in the soil for decades to thousands of years. Trees generally sequester the most carbon of all plants because of their large size. Globally, plants currently sequester 30% of all carbon dioxide emitted by humans each year. We are proposing a silvopasture plan for Wheelview Farm in Shelburne, Massachusetts, with the intent of sequestering more carbon, helping to mitigate climate change, and benefiting the farmer. Wheelview Farm is a scenic farm located in Shelburne, Massachusetts, owned by Carolyn and John Wheeler. They raise cattle and pigs, offering grass-fed pork, beef, and maple syrup. With over 400 acres of land, their open pasture totals about 100 acres. They raise 84 cows on grass in a managed grazing system, moving the cattle every few days between paddocks defined by electric fencing. In 2022, they were awarded the Leopold Conservation Award, a prestigious land ethic farm award. The image on the left shows the property of the Wheelers from above, and the image on the right shows a study area we chose to do an 8-acre paddock. The dimensions are roughly 420 feet by 830 feet.
For our plan, we propose adding approximately 200 trees surrounding and within the paddock. We chose trees which work well with silvopasture, providing supplementary food for cattle or wildlife, and which sequester high rates of carbon. The species of trees we chose to include are chestnut, mulberry, willow, poplar, maple, and oak. Trees placed in clusters still allow the grasslands to remain, while providing cattle shade and additional nutrition. As you can see in the graphic, we propose planting 10 mulberry trees, 5 oak trees, 14 chestnut trees, 9 maple trees, 40 poplar trees, and 120 willow trees. These trees are distributed across the study area based on the type of soil and spaced far enough apart to allow for cattle grazing between them. Planting this many trees can be expensive. To keep expenses down for the farm, we recommend acquiring small bare root trees. Grant money to cover these expenses may also be available through the National Resources Conservation Service within the USDA. So how much carbon did we sequester? Our table shows how much a single tree of each species can sequester per year at 5 inches of diameter and at 10 inches diameter in pounds of CO2. We multiplied these amounts by the number of trees in our plan and added them up to determine a total. These are estimations, as rates of carbon sequestration can differ according to soil and climate conditions. In 1 year, this would amount to a total reduced atmospheric CO2 for trees which are 5 inches in diameter of 24,103 pounds of CO2, and a total reduced atmospheric CO2 in 1 year for 10 inches in diameter trees of 58,441 pounds of CO2. In summary, better management practices for cattle production can change the industry from one which emits large amounts of greenhouse gases to one which sequesters additional carbon. Silvopasture is a practice which can sequester large amounts of carbon and improve cattle production, contributing to climate change solutions.